All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. This is Will Bridges from your team here at Trade House Funds. Uh, if you guys missed that intro, because I might have been a little early on that, this is Will Bridges from Trade House Funds. Today we're going to do something a little different. I want to show you guys really kind of the behind the scenes. I want to see what you actually get as a prop trader and what you would actually be trading. I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand necessarily if they haven't done it before, what the platform looks like and how to place a trade. So I'm going to go through all that here today. There's also new videos if you haven't seen on our channel, and those are walkthroughs, kind of the same thing. And it's kind of a behind the scenes look. I'm just going to take it a little bit further here. I'm going to go through a little bit more of my trading process and find a symbol to move and show you guys how I actually execute in a $100,000 challenge account. So should be a fun one here today. I want to make sure everybody can hear me and that the stuff is actually working. So when you can get a chance, thank you, Gail. Good morning. How are you? Should be a fun session here today. If you have something in particular you want to see, especially as it pertains to something like, I don't know, maybe a currency cross or oil or gold. And, we've been posting about gold going back under 2000 for a while. So proud. I'm proud that it happened. I'm not necessarily happy about it. Dollars are getting more expensive. And that seems to be the trend lately. It seems like Powell and the gang are going to want to hold rates, and they keep talking about how there's going to be more and more evidence that they should do that. So I hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day. Also, I know that we're still early, where I don't want to get too deep in the game of talking about stuff. I'm still 9 minutes ahead of schedule here, but really should be a fun one, I think. Valentine's Day was great, though. I went with the wife to do a 4D ultrasound, which I didn't know was a thing. I had to ask about what the fourth dimension was when we got there. You would never guess. I didn't realize 4D was a thing. I thought it was just like when they joke around about how smart the president is, and he's playing 5D chess. Sure he is. Sure he is. But we really shouldn't have everybody showing up here. Everybody likes to show up late now. This is the way that it works in this new society that we live in. I work at home, and this is the most dressed up I get most of the time. Just because I don't have to. I don't have to do anything, go anywhere if I don't want to. So I feel like everybody used to show up early for meetings, and that was the thing in for most of my professional career. Really until 2020, it became not a thing. And it was, okay, we're having a Zoom meeting. Everybody can show up 1 to 3 minutes late. It used to be the door is locked 5 minutes before the meeting starts, is how it was when my career really started. But it's been I don't know, interesting change to the whole dynamic of meetings and how things work. Not to say that anybody's late right now. We're obnoxiously early, drinking coffee in the meeting before anybody shows up. So, but we are going to go through a lot of things. I know there's people showing up at different times. There's a delay on all this stuff, so I can't really tell. But should be a lot to uncover here for people, and just common questions that people have. I think we're going to put to ice here today. Like, what symbols can I trade? I'm going to show all the symbols. I'm going to show you how to add all of them, open the charts for them. All the things that, people take for granted as far as trading goes. I think that really need to be taught and shown. Like, I figured out a lot of things on my own, and really just from experience, but it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. So we're going to hopefully save some people a lot of time in here today. What time are we at now? 8:53. But yeah, if you can hear me, I can't see how many people are in here yet because I know we're early and this isn't scheduled to start yet. So the message I don't think goes out until 9. But regardless, if you are in here, give me an idea. How much trading experience do you have? Realistically, what are you trying to achieve? And it might not be realistic what you're trying to achieve, but let me know. Most of the time, people want to do something unrealistic, and I know we'll talk about that in here. I think really what we try to solve as a company here at Trade House Funds is the lack of capital that most people have, or their lack of risk tolerance with the capital they do have. Okay, so really risk management is our business, and that's really what this whole program is. It's an opportunity for people to trade a larger amount of capital so that they can have an opportunity to make meaningful returns without putting all of their capital at risk. So it's really kind of a two-pronged thing. There's a lot of people that have $250,000 they could put into a trading account, but they don't feel as though they have the skill, can't afford to lose it, whatever the case might be. I mean, you can get a $250,000 challenge with us for a couple grand, $2,000. And if you follow all the rules, you pass the challenge, you move on to a $250,000 live account. So you don't necessarily have to worry about losing $250,000, at least all at once. You could get, 200 challenges and figure this out for a long time and have a very impactful experience, because let's just say losing in a demo account that means nothing is not anywhere near as impactful as losing in a prop trading account. You will blame yourself when it's over, and I think that's important for your growth as a person. But I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but I feel like losing is a part of winning. And I don't know, we posted something on a worn out Michael Jordan, remembrance that he's missed 26 game-winning shots, or 27 or 29. I can't remember what the number is. He's missed a bunch of game-winning shots. He's missed over 9,000 shots in his career. We're talking about Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time. But he's still a champion, and that's a worn out story. But the reality is nobody remembers all those misses. And you probably, well, let's just say if you ask somebody like Michael Jordan, he remembers all of those misses, every one of them. And that's probably what drove him to be the greatest, because he doesn't want to miss. He wants to win. And to win, you know how to avoid losing is really what the number one thing is. And that you have to work harder than other people. And that's really all it is. And to work harder than other people, that doesn't necessarily mean you worked harder for longer. You might have worked smarter. That's a thing too. So sorry for going on my little my little diatribe here before we get started. But if we're going to talk about prop trading in here, and I'm going to show you guys all this stuff, you guys might as well know what it's like to actually trade. And it's not as like the starting out process is, is exciting, and really depending on how you do it, and the type of person you are. I mean, if you're not the type of person that's easily excited, then you might have a different experience. Everybody's different. So I'm obviously a risk-taking person. I'm only 35 years old. I'm more than willing to smash the buy button. And if I have a rough day, whatever, I've got many years to overcome it. You may not be in that situation. And that's really why this prop trading thing exists. And that's honestly why I like it so much. Because really it's kind of taught me a lot about, how reckless I was with my own money and my own accounts. And, I was okay with a big swing because I knew that I was going to come back with a strong right. I always think of myself like Mike Tyson when I'm trading. But it doesn't always work out that way. Evander Holyfield did get his ear bitten off by Mike Tyson, but so he would do anything to win. I'm not quite that motivated, but we're we're ready to get started here in a couple of minutes. I think we're gonna pull up once we get started. I think I'm just going to go through a little bit of, news. We're going to talk about the economic calendar. I'll pull that up because it's been a relatively loud, quiet week all at the same time. And we're going to simplify kind of, how I figure out what I want to look at. Because really all that goes into that, obviously I want to be biased. I want to think, okay, this is going to be strong because, and have this reason that I can hold on to in my brain. But I also don't want to marry that because things can change. There's big forces in the world. So, for example, if we talk about something that might affect oil prices, there's a lot of people, the people that produce oil. The U.S. actually produces more oil than OPEC does every day. I'm not sure most people know that. So the USA probably wants high oil prices to support that market and support higher GDP numbers so that they can keep rates high. And that actually allows the dollar to, continue to do its thing. People continue to park their money in 5% accounts. I have money in a 5% account. Why wouldn't I? It's an easy place where I can guarantee myself a return just by leaving money in an account. It's easy. Okay. So there's a lot of different ways to make money. And, I think prop trading is one that I think people, kind of ran at full speed. And, really, I think, didn't understand how it works and really what it's like to be the best traders in the world. And I think a lot of people are expecting those best traders in the world to be just like the billionaires that you follow on Twitter. And all of those people that, talk about how $100,000, $200,000 a year isn't a flex anymore. And maybe in California, but everywhere else in the world, it is. And it's just one of those things that people expect the greatest in the world to be something that they're not. And I want to bring that into a little perspective here today. And I'm going to do a little differently than I've done in weeks before. So I'm going to do it with the actual platform itself. And looks like we are about ready to go. So this is our website. If you guys want to check this out, if you want to go get one, I'm going to have I keep having them extend this promo, which I feel is disingenuous, but either way, I wanted to give a discount today, so I want to make it easy. And that being said, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this page, but these are the challenges that we offer. Okay, and I'm going to pull up my $100,000 challenge here in a second. I'm going to show you guys what you actually get. I'm going to explain the actual rules and all that fun stuff on this page. And really what we're all about is getting people that are willing to trade small in a $25,000 to $250,000 trading account. Really, if you can trade small, try to make something like 10% gains, then you end up in one of these live accounts. The challenge fee is one time. This is not a subscription. This is not a situation where, you pay us every month. You pay us one time for the challenge. Okay, if you blow out the challenge and you lose, you do have to buy another challenge. If you want, if you buy a $25,000 challenge to start to figure it out and see if you can follow all the rules, and the rules are really, don't lose more than 6%, can't lose more than 5% in a day. If I'm in a $25,000 account, I can only open, 2.5 standard lots with standard leverage. I can open 5 standard lots with double leverage. That is an option. I'll show you that too. But, the time to pass, unlimited, so you can trade as long as you want in this account to try to achieve this 10%. You could do it in a couple of days. You could do it in a couple months, weeks. You could do it in a year. That's really kind of up to you if you have unlimited time. So we're not going to just time you out and breach you just because you're done. And breach means you fail. Okay, so the ways to breach, just so we're all on the same page, the ways to breach and fail are to hit this max trailing drawdown of 6%. Okay, so the other way, like I said, is to lose 5% of your account in one day. So I'm about to show you a $100,000 trading account. And, if I lose $5,000 a day in this account, I'm done. I lose. It's over. Okay. And $5,000 in a day is, let's just say if I was trading $100,000 of your money and I did that in a day, you'd be pretty upset. Especially if, you've only got $850 in the game. So you can lose 5,000, I should say, with 850 actually at risk. So really we're providing two opportunities. You can kind of keep your capital, your investment capital, whatever you want to call it. Okay, your just extra disposable income that you have that you want to trade with. Okay, you could keep that on the sideline and you get a challenge. Okay, and the purpose of the challenge is to teach you to follow these rules so that you can be responsible with our money. And that's the whole point. Okay, so, and trading with larger amounts of money is obviously more risk for us. It's more risk, well, really just mostly for us. So it's more cost, on the front end, but we're still talking about giving 100 to 1 on the cost of the challenge. So, or better. So could be, a massive opportunity for anybody that's willing to, like I said, trade small in this situation. And the rules are very straightforward. Okay, so 75, I'll click on this and just show you guys. This is the $100,000 account. This is $850. I'm going to do this right up front. And then I'm going to pull up my trading account and I'm going to show it to you guys. And, this $100,000 account is, I think, very comfortable for a lot of people because a lot of demo accounts have been this for many years and in MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5. So 75% is the normal amount that you get to keep. So if you made, $4,000 in the account, so you take this to $104,000, you get to keep 3. Okay, you can upgrade and keep more of the money. That changes your risk profile. Obviously, we get paid less money when you make money. So that's really why that is the way it is. No stop loss is an obvious one. You have to pay extra for that because it changes your risk profile. And, otherwise you can choose from MT4, MT5, like I said, but max time you also changes your risk profile. We don't have to worry about you sitting on our money forever and doing nothing with it if you have a 60-day limit. And that is what the normal is. So if you don't upgrade, that's what it is. Double leverage. Okay. A lot of people like that. I would say it's very popular, but it's twice as risky for us as the people whose money that you would actually be trading in the live account when you get there. So that's why all of these things exist. Okay. I'm going to show you guys how to get 40% off. And I think, actually, you know what? I might have a different one. I think Jeff did turn off the other one that I was thinking of. I might be crazy. Sorry. I've spent too much time on Twitter this morning. It's been an interesting day. But essentially, this is the challenge. I'm going to show you guys in a second. And when I talk about the challenge, I'm going to pull up the actual platform itself so that you guys can see that and actually know what this is. So if you go through Purchase Now and put in all your information and do all that stuff, this is where you go to do it. It's just right through our homepage. It's really easy to do. I don't need to show you guys how to put a credit card or whatever in on the internet. Okay, really straightforward process, I think. If you do have any issues, then send us an email to, social@tradehousefunds.com. And that'd be an easy way to help you guys. Let's check out some news. And I'm going to pull up the economic calendar real quick. Okay, we're going to find, talk a little bit about what's going on. And then once I get done talking about news, we're going to go through, mostly I'm just going to look at the dollar. I'm going to filter this down and we're going to clear this out. None, USD, apply. And I'm on this week already. And this is really what I'm going to use to look at major commodities. I want to know what's going on with the dollar before I go and look at something like silver or gold or oil or whatever. Okay, so if the American economy is crushing it, I'm going to use that as a sign that maybe, the rest of the world will follow the leader. So core CPI means that we're getting, this green here means we're getting more inflation, okay, than we had anticipated, which essentially means that they're going to hold rates higher for longer, just like the Fed has been telling us all year. So unless they surprise us in March, which is possible, because in March we've got this BTFP thing that's going to end on March 11th, and that's kind of, secret bank bailout money that nobody knows about. Maybe you know about, depends on who you follow. But BTFP is real. You can go look at it right now. It's on the Fed's website. So, and you can see how many billions of dollars flow out of it every week. I think they mark it every Wednesday. But that being said, so there's more inflation than they anticipated. And I think we've been talking about this for a while. I think the Swiss have been, they've been lowering their foreign currency reserves. Wow, easy for me to say. But the Swiss have been doing that. I think that's part of what's driving, the more inflation, because the Swiss are putting more dollars in circulation. We've also got retail sales that kind of took a dump here in the U.S. Empire State Manufacturing Index is better. Well, not as bad as they expected it to be, which is, still we're going to keep on chugging along territory. Retail sales were down, but that's not crazy. I mean, we're talking about going from, January from December. So, I mean, the number, it'd be crazy if people bought more retail stuff in January than they do for Christmas and all that stuff here in the USA. Christmas and, I should say also there's Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. There's everything. There's all of the holidays that happen in December. So that's not crazy surprising to me. Unemployment claims aren't bad. So, I mean, Americans have jobs still. That's still happening allegedly, whether it's part-time or not. They still have a job and they still spend their money. And that's really the main thing to pay attention to. So I'm still bull dollar. And that's really why we've been talking about, sub 2000 gold for a while. And what I kind of want to do with you guys here today is maybe figure out, all right, where might I want to become a buyer on something like gold? And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this in the trading platform itself. But before we get to the trading platform, I'm going to show you guys where I like to do my analysis, because to keep it as realistic as possible, I'm going to do my analysis in the Smart Trader charting software, because that's where I like to do it. And once I get done in here, I'm going to go place the trade in the MetaTrader 4 platform, and you guys will see all that stuff. I'll do it all. I'm not going to place a trade from Smart Trader here. I'm just going to, got it, happy about it. Okay, so this is oil. That seems to be doing what we expected, by the way, if you're not looking at the screen. I think, let's get over to the, oh man, trade ideas. There you go. This should be easier. So now we're in Smart Trader. Okay. And this is what was going on with oil. If you're wondering what I was thinking, that's kind of what I was thinking. And we're going to be meeting tomorrow. If you haven't already, subscribed or click the like button on this video. If you like this kind of content, then give us some love. If you don't give us any love, then, maybe one day we find something that people will give us love, But either way, this is gold, and I'm going to zoom out here. Let's actually go to the high time frame first. Have some fun. Okay, so I'm going to delete all this stuff so you guys can see where it came from. And, I want to highlight a couple of things on gold. I want to give a little more insight than I think most people are going to give you. And I'm going to talk about ranges that gold has lived in. And I know that everybody was focused on 2000 here. They still are focused on 2000. It's this big barrier. Okay, and the last time gold was the massive focus was maybe during the financial crisis, and that's over here. Okay, so I'm going to draw a box. This is where the range lived that was during the financial crisis. Okay, everybody knows the great financial crisis. Apparently my wife didn't catch it, but God love her. I think she's what I need in my life to keep me even. Best thing that ever happened to me, for real. So let's go ahead and look at the next range after we broke out of the financial crisis down here. This is our new all-time high that was the high for, I don't know, almost a decade. Okay, so let's figure out this range. And we tried to come back and test the great financial crisis range below, but we didn't. Okay, we didn't get in there. Okay, we didn't manage to break back into that area. We just came back and touched it. And it's been an uptrend since, and it moved up high. Okay, so allegedly, there's been somewhat of a crisis here the last few years. You guys might see this shape over here, and it looks a lot like this one up top, only this one up top is a lot bigger. Okay, so that doesn't mean this is going to go up today, right now. Okay, so it doesn't mean it's going to go either direction today, right now. Anything can happen today, right now. Okay, and really what I'm going to do is I'm going to reel in here. I'm going to come in a little closer. Okay, and I'm going to cut off because there's two kinds of trend. There's really range traders that are looking for the market to go sideways, and there's people that are looking for it to go up or down, trend traders. Okay, there's two kinds. So I'm going to combine those two strategies. Boom, come down here to the week. And it looks like we've got lots of area below here that we could use. I'm going to whittle down more. And now that we're reeled into an area that looks pretty likely to me, looks like we just got down under 2000. We're at catch-up trade territory right now. A lot of traders will try to take profit on this short, whatever. I'm going to show you guys in a second. I'm going to do this in the platform. I'm going to place a trade. Not telling you to, not giving you advice, not telling you something that I can guarantee by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm going to find an opportunity for myself here, and I'm going to base a lot of it on, where I'm aiming and how much I have to risk to do it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of lines here. I'm going to make this one green. This could be, my rip the tape on life price. It's not necessarily that yet. Make this thicker. Okay, so now we've got an easier line to see here. And I'm going to get another one on the chart. We're going to make this one blue, where I want to actually get into this trade. And I'm going to get one more line on here. And we're going to make this one red. And this is where I'm going to put my stop loss. Real simple concept, I think, is to try to protect my risk. And this might be my down move. This is really my area of opportunity, in my opinion, down to 1920-ish. Okay, so maybe it gets down there, maybe it doesn't. Maybe this thing takes off to the moon. Could happen today. Nobody knows. Okay, so the point is this is making lower and lower highs as time goes on, and we've got this little, uptrend that was happening. Okay, and then we started to make these lower and lower highs and lows. I mean, it's been very clear. I'm going to go ahead and draw these just so people can see this a little bit more obvious. Okay, because I don't know, let's say I spend a little too much time looking at the charts. When I say too much, that's probably not true. I spend the right amount of time, many years that I've drawn stuff like this. Okay, so this is really what I think is going on. And I think very likely we come back up, maybe test the middle of our little channel here, and that might be the trade I want to place. Maybe I come down to the 4 hour. And now we're on this lower time frame. We look at this 4 hour time frame. We're moving up fast, and it does look like we maybe want to come up to this level that I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to come down to my 1 hour. Got all this stuff done. This thing's moving. And, maybe it comes down, makes a little bit of a check. Let's see what we got with our Fibonacci here. Because it does look like we are at an extension level, right? Meow. Those of you Super Troopers fans out there. But this is if this is our extension, then this might be some more invisible levels that exist above, but it would be hard to want to bet against this right now. It seems to be moving up pretty quick. If I'm going to, I might do it a little bit lower, but I'm not really trying to take it any higher than this 2018 price. Okay, so that's if I want to get in as a buyer right now. So there's really a couple things that I could do, and I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to show you guys. I'll just give you an example. So now that I've decided that I like this opportunity on gold, and a lot of people are going to go to the store and they're going to buy physical. God bless them. I'm going to do the same thing sometimes. But as far as if I want to make a move on short term down, this is where I'm going to go do it. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Let's get over to, let's just show the whole platform here. And let's see. How can I just do a straight up screen share? There we go. Boom. Got the whole thing. Okay, so more space. And this is that $100,000 account that I was talking about. That is our balance here right now. I'm going to bust that in just a second. Okay, so as soon as I bust that, you guys will be able to see that. I'm going to move this up here. Let's get gold open. And actually, before I get gold open, let's just show you guys how you can add more symbols. I think that's in, it's either in view. Yep, in view, you click symbols. And then if you want to add something, you want to look at it. So if I want the DAX, I double click on it. If I want the EU 50 to be able to trade that, if I want to trade the Hong Kong 50, you get the point. France 40, the Nikkei, the FTSE, the NASDAQ 100. A lot of these are the most popular, I would say, the NASDAQ 100, the US 500, the US 30. And the metals, I would say, are probably the most popular. Probably my favorite stuff to trade is going to be, the gold, silver, oil stuff, because it does move a ton. And there's going to be big opportunity and there's going to be big risk. And that's really why I like to trade small. And I'm going to show you guys in this session. I'm going to open with the minimum size, and I'm going to be back tomorrow. So we'll be able to look at this tomorrow if you want to come back live tomorrow and check in on me and see if I managed to ruin everything in one day. But let's go ahead and get gold on the chart. Okay, so I've already decided that I want to trade upwards towards my 2018 price. And let's get into the lower time frame so we can actually look at this. Okay, and I want to bump the chart over a little bit. I like to get rid of this grid also because it's just noisy for me. I'm going to zoom in just a shade more, spread out the price so I can see kind of the area that I want a little bit better. Zoom in a little bit more. But I've already done all this analysis. We're not on a candlestick chart because some monster at MetaTrader 4 decided that bar chart was I don't know, should be the default, which I think is nuts. But I'm just a guy, right? So this is a very big down move that we were looking at here. And I had mentioned that 2018 is about as far as I would want to go in the up position. So I've got a couple of options, okay? Really, my opinion, okay, I could buy up or I could sell down. The buy up option really only exists if, well, I've got a good place to manage my risk. And I've got to come down to a lower time frame to decide what makes sense here. And really, we're moving up fast right now. We have been, but can we come back down and test these lower prices? The answer is yes. Okay, so from a risk management standpoint, it's really kind of up to you. What I'm going to do in this situation is going to be a little bit more pointed. I'm going to go ahead and click on sell limit, but I don't want to do a 1.0 because that's big. Okay, especially on something like gold. Okay, so gold's going to move very fast. And I'm going to build positions over time. I don't plan on doing this, depending on the type of trader that you are. I'm going to plan on selling this for a while until it gets $100 away versus this other price that I think is $15 away right now. So I don't really care about this $15 move. You might, I don't. And I'm going to do a couple of things here. It's going to be fun for me. I'm going to go ahead and click on limit sell here. Boom. And it's going to pop up with this one-click trading message. This says that if I click this button up here and I click sell or buy real quick and it enters me, that's my fault and I'm in the trade. That's pretty much what this means. Okay, so I want that. If you don't want that, or if you want to trade with a stop loss, you're going to have to trade from the order window and enter a stop loss if you don't do the stop loss upgrade. So I want to accept one-click trading, and I just did that. So now I can do this. I click sell limit. And I'm in at a 0.01, whatever number I have here in the top left. This is the minimum, and this is actually, I think something like $1,000 position. Okay, so it can move a lot in a day. A 0.01 is $1,000 position. Yes, correct. Sorry, losing my mind. But really, I can amp this up quickly. I could really do 2.5, well, 2.5. So that would be 250 times this position is what I'm allowed to do. Okay. So a lot of traders might not be waiting for it to come against the market to get in. You know, sometimes people are going to want to do other things. Like I'll bump this back over so you can actually see what I'm doing here. I'm going to go ahead and click this trading and I'm going to put sell stop, and I'm going to do a different amount actually, because I want to do heavier. If it's coming my way, I'm going to go a little bit more, sell stop. Okay. So now I've got a couple of entries. Both of these are very small in my relation to my $100,000 account. Okay. So that being the case, this isn't a situation where I'm super concerned without a stop loss. Okay. Granted, if this market does get over 2050, I probably want to get out of Dodge and stop going short, which I think is intuitive for a lot of people. But really, I'm going to trade this thing sideways, I think, for the time being, especially if it's going to make all these downward moves and the U.S. economy is going to continue to perform with high rates and the Fed's going to keep them that way. So that's really where my head is with this one. I'm going to trade this thing south. I don't have to do anything. I can walk away from this now. And once it enters, you know, I'll decide what I want to do. One of these prices is going to get hit. If there's anything that I know about, there's no guarantees in life other than death and taxes. But there is a promise that gold will move. Some of you are buying towards my higher price. And maybe that's the good idea. Maybe it is. You know, that's up to you. But you can do any of that. I can trade both directions in this account at the same time. I can hedge. I can do pretty much anything that I want in this account. And there's no FIFO restrictions or anything like that. So a lot of people have that question as well. So you can have all sorts of fun here. And if I want to open up another chart, we'll do one more because you guys saw that I had oil open, and I might be able to open up oil right now. Let's go ahead and look at that. Let's see, commodities. Do I have oil turned on? Yeah. Yes, I do. All right, so let's get rid of this grid. And I'm going to be back tomorrow. You guys can check in on me if you want to do that. See what happened. Let's make this a candlestick chart because the bar chart drives me nuts. Okay, this one looks interesting. And the U.S. economy is performing, and usually that means let's actually get back over to the Smart Trader charts. I feel like we're doing ourselves a disservice without having all of the data that exists in the Smart Trader charts. All right, and now I've got this somewhat head and shoulders type of thing that was forming. It does look like I want to buy this. Looks like we just broke out. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. This is what I'm about to execute, and I'll show you guys. Let's get just 3 quick lines on here. Lock. Where's the lock tool at? They move it on me? They did move it on me. That's awesome. It's up top. Now it's on. Get 2 more lines in here. Okay, so there's my current price. Maybe I have my stop a little bit lower, but I'm going to go ahead and just do something like that right now. And we're going to enter, and I'm going to be done with this thing quick. So let's get our platform open. Now, you guys have already seen how the quick trading functionality works. And, you know, if I think that this thing can get up a little bit higher, let's come down to our 1 hour, maybe our 15-minute, so I can see what I'm doing here a little bit easier. And I'm going to go ahead and click on not a 1.0. We're going to go real small just to show you guys. I don't want anybody calling me to say, hey, you blew out my trading account, you jerk. You told me to do whatever. I didn't tell you to do anything. Okay, I'm just showing you how this works. And I'm not afraid to take a little bit of a risk in this challenge account that I've got here. So that's it. I just set a stop. I just set a limit. I did all of that. I'm in the trade. I bought on U.S. oil, and I've got my other, I guess, kind of, I don't want to call it it's a, man, I'm thinking too hard right now, straddle kind of setup I've got going on gold. So may not go my way immediately, and I could lose this trade, but let's just say at the level that I'm trading it, I can't really lose the entire account. It'll show me I'm risking $15 here to try to make something like 20. Okay, so not a crazy huge risk. Okay, so 1.4 to 1, something like that. I don't have to win every time if I do this kind of stuff. Okay, so that's why I'm doing it. And if this moves up, I might move up my stop loss. Who knows? But this could execute very quickly. We'll see tomorrow. But we are out of time here. So I do appreciate you guys coming. If you guys want to check out TradeHouseFunds.com and get your own $100,000 account rolling, let me show this to you guys. Before we get out of here, I'm going to do this a little bit different. because I know I've shown slides and all sorts of fun stuff, but I don't think that does the justice that the website does. If you guys do want to get started prop trading, you can follow along with us. And obviously I'm going to come and I want to try to make people more comfortable with how trading works and really what it takes to actually win. And, you know, you don't have to be the smartest person on earth, but you might have to know a few of them. But if you want to start trading with us and you want to get on your way to a $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 account, I was just showing you guys the 100,000. I think this is the most popular just because you have a lot of breathing room and the price is pretty manageable, I think, at $850 to get started. So $5,000 that you can risk per day is the maximum. If you lose $5,000 in a day, you're out. $6,000 ever, really, you're out. So the name of the game is just to kind of creep towards your 10%. And some people aren't going to creep. Some people will crush it and they do it very fast, and more power to them. You can keep up to 90% of the profits. And, you know, if you have a promo code, something like that, I think, let me see. I have a promo code for you guys. Let me see if I can find that from Jeff. Let's see. I know I've got a new one. Let's see. This is my mistake. So I do know that the previous one is gone. That Cut 40 promo is no longer alive. So I knew that I had to get one today. Let me see if I can find this for you guys quick. It's 40%. So basically you can get all of the upgrades, the double leverage, the no stop loss, all that stuff. I mean, for free. And actually the price comes out lower than what we're looking at here. So it's 40% is pretty huge, and something that I'm love to give. So let me see. Nope, that's not how to find it. Let me just make this full screen over here. But yes, if anybody does have any questions, I do appreciate you guys coming, staying this whole time. And if you haven't already, then hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell. Come see us tomorrow and trade with us live. Should be lots of fun. I think, let me see if I can, I want to find this promo code though. So if you do have questions, I'm still here. I can still see the questions window. I just want to find this 40% off if anybody does want that. Let's see. Let's see. I got one. I found it. And if let's get into the live stream. It is Funded Fast is what the new one is. It's for 40%. Funded Fast. And FUNDEDFAST. And I think if you're looking to get funded, I think that is let's just say an easy way for you to make an immediate return on your investment by saving 40% on your intro cost. So, not that I can sit here and tell you this is going to replace your retirement fund or anything like that, because I'm not going to, and that is not what this is. This is trading, so you do have to be responsible. But if you do have questions, feel free, type them in the comments if you're not here live. I know not everybody can make it to things live, and I know that it does seem unfortunate that we didn't get an email out this morning, but that is what it is. I know a lot of people are going to want to see this regardless. But if you do have questions, like I said, type them in the comment section below. If you have, let's just say if you didn't like my tie, let me know. I can always wear something that isn't purple next time. But thanks again, everybody. I'm Will Bridges from your team here at Trade House Funds. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and be good or be good at it. Take care, folks.